Hey guys, just gonna quickly demo how to use the attendance app. So this is the attendance app. It looks a little bit different. It's got this little icon here. Now when you install it, when it's done, I'm not gonna remove it. First thing you wanna do is go to the little gear icon here. Now you'll get this gear icon as long as you have one extension. If you don't have any extensions, you won't get any. You'll get it, you wanna find it, which it's called attendance. You want to click the pin so it turns blue. This adds it here. Now this attendance app is a bit more intuitive than the previous one. Now when you're done and you've got it installed, you can click on the icon itself and it will give you some options. You want to turn on export on leave and turn on show pop-up. You also want to set reset interval to 200. Now this just means that it makes a new spreadsheet every so often. So I put it on 200 hours, which is about a week, so it should reset itself after a week. And you've got a few other things here. So you can clear storage, which you don't want to do. You can reset the spreadsheet, and you can also open a spreadsheet. So I'm going to show you what the spreadsheet looks like before we get into the meat. So we open the spreadsheet. So you want to leave this untouched up until the point you don't want to use it anymore. It won't delete when you reset spreadsheet, it will just make a new one. So it's just called attendance for Google Meet. It makes a new tab for every class you have. I'll explain that in a second. So I got 1, 2, and I've got all the kids here, and it says time in, time out, how many times they joined, and the minutes present. So this was a little accidental, so they didn't leave till quite late. So it does say a ridiculous amount of minutes, but I'm just gonna leave it. Let's look at one I did today. So right now we have this one from today. So we got the student, the time in, they came 8:29. Prue came in late, so 9:34, and the timeout was 120 minutes, which is just about right. So this is kind of what it looks like after it's exported. Now, if I had multiple times of this class, it will create a new group within the same tab. So it won't create a new spreadsheet if you're using it a lot of times, which you shouldn't have to, because we're just doing online, hopefully just for now. But it will all be on one sheet, and after all your online's done, you can move it quite easily. Just rename it. I'm going to rename mine M1 attendance. Now when you're in the actual room, when you first come in, it will ask you whether or not you want to add a class. I've clicked later, and then you got to take attendance, which is right here. Now I'm going to select a new class. We're going to call this M12, and we're not going to have any student names. That's it, we're going to click save. So I'm going to select this class as M12, and when I select it, it's going to ask me to add students to the class. Now the first time you do this, you need to add them. So I'm going to add Ali Armstrong, Alicia, Mark, and Max. Now I'll say they've joined, so I'll put them all as green. Now if I leave as a student, so I've got Ali Armstrong, I've got my other account here as a student, I'm going to leave. And in a few seconds, it sometimes takes a few minutes to update, it will say that this person has left. There we go. So Ali just left, so he'd last seen at 11:06. You can organize this by name or presence or whatever, but that's it. It takes attendance automatically. Now I have this set to do on leave, so I should be able to just end the call and it will do it. Now if you're a bit paranoid, you can click export, but I'm just going to leave the call and show you how to do it automatically. So I'm just going to click leave. So I've left. I'm going to come here, I'm going to refresh this sheet. And as the best things. As with always, when you're trying to do examples, things never work.
2,000 years later.
There we go. It just took a few seconds to go there, so you can see it got there M1 12. So we got all these people. So because I left without making the students left, we've got this event. So Ali Armstrong left at 11:06, but these guys haven't left yet. So you can join back in, but you want to make sure the students don't leave, so you ask them not to leave. That's the only issue with this attendance thing. It doesn't update the timeout if they come back in. Actually, we can see if that happens. So I'm gonna join back into that meeting. So I'm going to join again. I'll go back onto my phone. I'm going to join the meeting again. H and MC WEW. So you can see Alicia's just left now. So I've just joined back. Okay. Now we can see we've got all the students back here. We can go back to the attendance. we can go back to 12 and we see that, you know, Alicia left at 11:08. So I'm just going to kick everyone now, and then we're going to export it again. So I'm just going to remove Max, remove Mark, and remove myself. You'd ask the students to do this, but you can do it yourself manually. So this is the end of the lesson. Again, if you're feeling a little bit paranoid, wrong button, you can click export yourself, but it should do it. So let's just click export myself this time, give it a few seconds to do its thing, and that's it. And then we can leave, and you can open the spreadsheet if you want to see the export. We can go down to the tab, so M12, and we see actually, yeah, it did update the time. So if the students leave early, it's fine, as long as they join back again and leave, it will update it. So, you know, Ali Armstrong's joined twice, everyone left at 11:08. And that's pretty much it. It's very, very simple. Now, some of you might have issues with the list where students have joined, but there's nothing there. Just wait. Give it like a few minutes. You can, you know, close it, exit, and then open it again. Give it a few minutes, they will pop up. And it will record their time right. So even if it's taken 5-10 minutes for them to come up here, which sometimes it does. The first time I did this, it took a few minutes. Once you add them, they're there, and when you export it, it will say their join time was the right time. It won't say when you added them. So the app actually tracks them when it comes in. Sometimes it can be, you know, I found 1 out of the 7 times I've used it, it was a little bit buggy, and it took a while for the students to come in. Now, if in future we keep using this, every time you join the class, you just select it, and the name list will be there. It won't change. So it adds them by name. As long as they don't change their names, it should be added to the list. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna delete this class because I don't need it anymore. But otherwise, if you have any questions, let me know.
And that's all, folks.